Hello, welcome to Chalkcast again. We are 9 days from opening day at this point in time, um, and about 9 days and 162 games from the Braves getting to the playoffs, and then
Mm,
about 3 or 4 weeks from winning the World Series again after that, and then again, and then again, and then again. Anyway, spring training's been going on, but we briefly talked about some of our signings and departures in last episode, but my computer took a big old shit on itself and cut out the last 10 minutes where we went over that. So I don't know how much of talking about Matt Olsen went out the window, but basically excited about him. But yeah, I at least personally, I just kind of wanted to wrap up some thoughts about Freddie, and there's been like some recent comments from him come out recently, and so I have gone from 70-30 personally to 80-20. That's just me. He said basically that the comments that he made against Anthopoulos and the Braves, and just kind of seeming very uh, salty about everything. That he apologized for that and said that he expressed that he was emotional, and that he felt remorseful about it, and that he's elected to receive his World Series ring in Atlanta as opposed to in LA, which is it's good. Still not, not seeing him accept his World Series ring in a Dodgers uniform makes me want to like hide my own head inside my own
hmm
butthole. But
That's not going to be fun to watch at all.
no, it's not gonna be fun to do either. It's pretty
I
hard
think
to
I think the
reach my
inventors
head
of the
around
phrase I think the inventors of the phrase bittersweet actually had
this in
this
mind.
in mind.
Yeah.
Back in the 1800s, they're like, one day Freddie Freeman is going to win a World Series with the Braves, go to the Dodgers, and then he's going to come back to Truist Park and take his ring there. And
I
in that
just
moment,
I'm just imagining like them playing his last home run and then the
mm,
catch in the World Series, and then like 20% of the stadium just bawling their eyes out.
yep,
Um,
yeah,
and then all the there's so many Dodgers fans at every Braves game too. It's so annoying.
yeah,
And they're just gonna have their hands on their hips, just like, oh
yeah,
man,
fucking
just.
yeah. Ugh.
But
Hopefully by that point, Matt Olson will have outcompeted him during the season.
yeah,
But
I'm
obviously wishing him the best.
yeah, I'm fairly certain that Matt Olson's gonna be a better first baseman than Freddie within uh 2 years at the
Yeah,
least,
I'd
or at the
agree.
most.
I'd agree with that. I think just age wise and projection wise, Matt Olson is honestly in his. I mean, I'd say he's in the earlier stages of his prime, whereas Freddie's kind of on the outs. Uh, Obviously, would have been great to keep him around, but for looking toward the future and staying optimistic, I think it's we might have
Yeah,
the better guy.
yeah,
Obviously, that's coming from Braves fans, but
and Freddie, but also in terms of future, Freddie kind of took away a
mhm.
little bit of our future with Pache and mainly Langlois
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Cusick and Estes. But
yeah.
anyway, so what have y'all? So I'm at 80-20,
hmm
which to the listener at home made mean absolutely nothing at all. But after those comments, where do you think that y'all are? Well, you don't
In
have as
terms
much
of
emotional attachment to this, but
that's true. 80-20 in terms of liking Freddie versus disliking him,
yeah.
just like the emotional
Hmm.
ratio. Yeah, I'd say I'm probably at the same spot. I, I like it was just such a contentious emotional time when all of this was going down, and especially when like if I think the fact that the Matt Olson trade happened and the Freddie deal, Freddie, obviously everything's just been happening so fast with like the CBA getting signed so late. Like in that moment, I think emotionally I was very like 60-40, but I'm probably to like a 75-25 at this point. I just think like you can't not love Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Just like anyone who was here in 2016 and like decided to stay, or like 2017 and decided to stay, like clearly means a lot to the fan base. And obviously I'm preaching to the choir right now, but I think it's flipped a lot. Like I don't think Freddie wanted to leave. I think it's just how things shaked out. Like
Yeah.
the world isn't fair. Things don't work out how you think they're gonna do, and we couldn't put all our eggs in the Freddie Freeman basket, unfortunately. And it sucks that we lost Langoliers and Estes and Christian Pache, who I honestly didn't really want to see out like on the field anymore. But we all know the A's are going to turn them into all stars in 3 years and then trade them away once their fans get attached because they're fucking sadists over there in Oakland. But by that time they'll be by that time they'll be the Las Vegas Athletics. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude, they're trying to force a move. So
They're
It's-
literally major league. They're
it's so
literally
bad.
awful.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like they're driving down ticket prices by trading for, starting outfielder Christian Pache. And then they're gonna use that. They're basically just gonna gaslight their fans. Like the writing is just on the wall. They're gonna be like the prices are too low. No one comes to these games. We have to leave. It's like, yeah, asshole. You traded Matt Chapman and Matt Olsen, and they're gonna trade Frankie Montas and all the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Starling Marte, like it's just they traded like yeah. I don't know. Like I know the A's are a topic for another day, but
yeah.
as baseball fans, it's
They're
frustrating.
they're still in the market with what's his name? Sean Manaea.
Sean Manaea.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
The Yankees are like the favorite, but nothing's happened. The Yankees have they just shit on their own hands.
They are
Yeah.
penny pinchers now. They
Yeah.
do not
I don't
like
know,
spending
yeah.
money.
And they're worth like their team's worth like $6.5 billion, which is
Yep.
3 times as much as the Dodgers.
Yep.
Like they are
the
Cashman and the guy the family that Steinbrenner. That's their name.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are just.
Steinbrenner.
I don't
All
know.
of their players are the exact same too. Like they're
Yeah.
big, hulking guys that play like 2/3 of the season, and then the other third they're hurt.
Yeah. And also half of them are like racially ambiguous. Like the Rock. It's just like they're all like just this like palish brown skin tone. Like Aaron Judge, Giancarlo, Urshela's not there anymore. Gleyber Torres.
Glaber.
Yeah.
And then you have
Also
I'm so glad that like I don't have to look at what's his name? The guy that looks like a thumb.
Brett Gardner.
Brett Gardner. Yeah,
Brett
I hate that
Gardner,
guy. I hate that guy
Fuck that
so
guy.
much.
Also, just side note, the whole like no beards thing is so weird.
Oh yeah, I don't
Like
like it.
so,
I like
so.
it. I like it. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, Will.
It's a
Okay, big
tradition of
guy.
baseball. It's a
Shut the
tradition
fuck
of
up,
baseball.
Grandpa. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, it makes some dudes look so terrible. Like
Josh Donaldson looks like a fucking idiot. Like he looks like an idiot
He's
now.
always looked stupid, Frank.
But he
He's
looks
always
like he's
looked
walking
dumb.
around like this now. Like he just like his neck is tucked in, his chin
It's like
tucked in his neck.
they're all very in shape people, but whenever anyone goes to the Yankees, they just get a double chin. Like Garrett Cole just has. Garrett Cole's a very athletic guy. He just has a double chin because of this.
And somebody like Mike Ford, just like he sucks. And then 2, like he's on the. I saw him. I didn't know he was with the Mariners, but I just saw a spring training game with him playing with them, which he struck out, of course.
Good.
But he has a beard, and he looks like a normal human being now, as opposed to like when he was with the Yankees. But and then like Isaiah Kiner-Falefa just looks like a baby now. And they
I mean that's just how it goes.
the main guy that they screwed over from that, he came from the Rangers. He's like a longtime Ranger.
Oh, Odor.
Yeah, Rugned.
Yeah, Rugned.
Just
He had like a huge beard on the Rangers, and then
a really
just
nice
looked
one.
completely different. Yeah, he had that famous fight against
But yeah, he punched the crap out of Bautista.
bad flip guy. Yeah, Bautista. Yeah, around the league.
Well, yeah, Will, what's has your impression of Freddie changed at all? What you are?
I love Freddie Freeman. I still love him.
Yeah, we still do too.
Like, no, I mean, it's like a 100-0 type deal for me because it's just like you have to separate the person from the organization, and I know he said some things, but you know, I mean, I feel it's fair to say like he did a lot for that organization, and so like he's got some.
Mm,
He can say something and get away with it, and
mm,
like, uh, I hate the organization, but I mean like I like Chris Taylor, and I know that's like a big thing. I
mm.
just like him as a baseball player. You'd be lying if you said you didn't want to see him in a Braves uniform. You'd be
I
lying. You
would
would.
not be
And
lying.
oh, I'd kill to have him. So it's just like have to separate him from the organization and everything. Yeah, there's some people that's tough to do. I mean, like Correa, I can't do that with.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, you were just before
yeah,
this. You were saying that we should sign Correa on the Braves.
well, he's objectively a good player, and I'm
Yeah.
also infamously like a staunch critic of Dansby Swanson. Like, I think he
Uh,
sucks. So there's that. Uh, but yeah, love Freddie.
Well, we might see that come to fruition next year. Swanson's gone and Correa's got the option, so
A
I'm
nice
I'm
300, a
saying
nice $300 million deal or whatever.
yeah, like I'm not saying we
I would.
need Carlos Correa, but like I mean, like would it be the worst
He's
thing in the
really
world?
good. He is
Yeah.
really good.
I don't know. All right. Well, let's go into the departures. It's so we have 4 prospects, and then I found this list from Braves Worldwide on Instagram, and it counts Ender Inciarte, which I guess technically counts, but he'd been gone for basically this entire year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not really a huge loss.
I'm
But
pretty I'm pretty sure didn't Ender sign with the Phillies like during the season last year? Or
so
am
the
I
Reds.
the Reds?
Yeah, they
I
picked
think
him
it
up on
was, yeah.
waivers, but he was basically just in the minors the whole time,
Yeah.
which sucks, especially for a team as crappy as the Reds.
For sure.
They were decent last year. They're decent.
Yeah.
Now they're ass.
Yeah.
Joey Votto's
Yeah,
in
not
purgatory.
great.
Joey Votto is in purgatory right
And
now.
Castillo
I
and
agree.
India and Stevenson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Do they have Tucker Barnhart? Is he still playing there?
he's not.
No,
He's
they
like-
don't.
He's with the Tigers now.
Okay.
He's also just not great. He's good defensively.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so at least in terms of importance, we've already talked about it extensively. Freddie is gone. That is, mixed bag of everything. But thinking about and then all the prospects that we lost. But thinking from the top down of like most impactful players, obviously we lost our World Series MVP, which really sucks. I honestly would have rather had like traded away Ozuna, gotten some prospects, and then re-signed Jorge for a much cheaper deal, and take that risk.
Yeah.
Which Ozuna is already a risk in itself right now.
Yeah.
So that didn't make me super happy, but at the same time, personally, like I think, so he's Cuban, and he's made it pretty clear that like he wanted to be as close to Cuba as he could, and I don't think it was that much about the money. I mean, his contract was pretty cheap. Like the Marlins got a pretty good deal. Like I mean, he could falter and just become terrible, like he was in Kansas City.
Like he was. Yeah.
But he really changed things up, and like he was consistent, not just for like a month. Like it was 2.5, 3 months that he was really.
I mean, yeah, no, he hit the ground running when he got to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like it was honestly kind of surprising because like I have some friends that are from Kansas City. They're big Royals fans, and the way they talked about Soler on the Royals versus like the way I saw him on the Braves was literally like night and day.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was batting like in the high 100s when he left Kansas City, and then obviously just fucking mashed when he got to our team. So
yeah, plus
tough to see him go. Yeah.
Like his OPS shot up in average and everything. But not only that, like his walks went up and his strikeouts went way down. He just is seeing the ball a lot better, knowing the zone.
Maybe it's because he was closer to Cuba.
Yeah.
He was closer to home, so
Yeah, but
yeah.
I like if there's gonna be an NLS team that's gonna have him, I would obviously prefer the Marlins.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's gonna suck seeing him in a Marlins uniform and like having to play him all the time, but this feels different than like when Duvall was there because like Soler did his job perfectly.
Yes.
And won us everything. And
Mhm.
Duvall was not supposed to be as like he's a weird player because like he led the NL in home runs, but had an average of like 180 or something.
Yeah.
But,
No. Yeah. Weird stats.
But yeah, so like
Yeah.
I'm happy for Soler that he's where I think this is where he wants to be, just like geographically. And he probably took a pay cut to be there. So good for him. Sucks not having him on the team anymore. Next most impactful player, Jock to the Giants, which is really interesting. Like longtime Dodger, now bitter rival, but he's also from Palo Alto. So
yeah, he like grew up going to games at Candlestick and stuff, so he's definitely like I think he'll like it there. But that will be interesting to see. I know the Dodgers fans love him too. Like I was at a Braves game over the summer at Dodger Stadium, and Jock Peterson hit a home run, and like they cheered for him. In fact, like one fan looked at me, he's like, "Was that Jock who hit the home run?" I go, "Yeah," and he goes, "Hey, like it's the one guy I'm all right with." I don't know. It'll be interesting to see him in San Francisco.
Yeah, and that wasn't a huge loss for our team. Like he's just not a starting player.
He's not an everyday guy. No.
He's like
He's still a bad bitch though.
Oh
he's
yeah.
Still a bad bitch.
That is true.
He's already said that he's going to continue to wear the pearls, and he's bringing them out there.
That's great. That's so great.
We have to when he comes to Atlanta. Like everybody's got to wear pearls.
Yeah. Do the Giants play a series in Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, they're an NL team.
I feel like they've got to. Yeah, I feel like they got to. Yeah.
So hopefully he's still with them because I could definitely see him just absolutely tanking. But yeah, love him to death, but not a huge loss for our team. But after that, I guess most impactful, our main bench bat, A.A. Adrianza's with the Nats, which is kind of gross.
Yeah.
Don't
so
really
just
like
grimy.
Yeah. Anybody who signs with the Nats, like it's just so hard to not look at them differently.
I still can't believe they got Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, that's just the weirdest.
So odd to me. Yeah.
That wasn't the weirdest signing of the offseason.
Chris Bryant to the Rockies.
Chris
Bryant to the Rockies is the weirdest one.
But
I was going to mention though that it feels like a Chris Bryant to the Rockies type of move. Like, what are the Nats even doing, man?
I mean, he might be trying to like vie for a starting position or something again.
I guess that's true. I guess not all teams are as good as the Braves.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, it'll be hard to have to play him a bunch. He's like, there's not a huge emotional attachment with him, but like he definitely carried our team in some pinch hit moments last year.
Yeah.
Including having the walk off for that game that we almost just blew to the Phillies. We're down 3 runs in the 12th and 13th.
And then he set up the Rosario home run in the NLCS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good player, very good bench piece. It sucks to see him go. And then just some relievers that are gone. Jesse Chavez, Chris Martin, Grant Dayton. Sucks to see Jesse go. Like he's so old at this point. It's just a matter of time. I feel like before he collapses though, and it kind of showed in the. He was pretty weak in the NLCS. I felt like.
Yeah, he was also one of those guys that like was super good if you just put him on the bump to start an inning, but I felt like anytime he came in with runners on base or runners in scoring position, you just knew they were getting home. Yeah. Like I don't think he did well with that.
But like he was a very unexpected good signing. Like,
Yes.
I remember
Yes.
it was when we were still under 500, and we were going to play the Reds, and I was talking to Will about like the matchup and whatever, going through each game, and then I saw like Jay Chavez. I was like, who the hell is that, and why is he starting? And like,
Yeah.
this was at the time where I wanted to constantly shoot myself from how terrible that season was in the first half, first two thirds.
Yeah.
But yeah, like very surprisingly became like one of our most solid people in the bullpen.
Yeah.
But and then Chris Martin,
Yeah.
he ended on a bad note, but he was our best reliever for like 2 years.
Now 2020 especially, he was like really good.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys that you like really trusted. When he got
he
out
was.
there.
Yeah, there was points.
Mhm.
And then even at the beginning, before he got injured this past year, he was like the only person that would come out, and I'd be like, I'm glad that you're there because like Luke was
Yeah.
bad, Tyler wasn't finding it, like
Minter got sent to AAA at one point.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really bad.
and like those guys were getting screwed up by the Marlins, like they were getting hit all over the place, and it was just awful to watch.
It's ugly, ugly start to the season.
And then Grant Dayton, I don't care at all.
Yeah,
Like he actually started to turn a corner at one point, but like his curveballs, like we've talked about him before, they just like, it's just like he might as well. This isn't even a funny joke, but I'm gonna use it for how much disdain I have for his curveball.
Yeah.
But just he's just basically like an Italian restaurant with how many meatballs he's serving.
Yeah,
up.
he's serving it up, man.
Like
Also his pitching motion,
yeah.
like he would sweep so slowly that I'm pretty sure the batter could see the seams on the ball and like what was coming. Like all you have to do is just look for like a split second, and he would keep that up there for so long. Like
it's like the Nate Jones.
Yeah.
Where Nate Jones is like, look.
He's like holding up, oh here we go, and then he just
every time I see Nate Jones pitch, my arm just instinctively just starts hurting.
Yeah.
Like
the twitch, yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Stop, yeah.
I'm sure it looks different in the batter's box, and I'm basing this off of. I remember I played MLB The Show with Will last summer, and we'd play Reds versus Braves, and it was like
he was on the Reds at that point.
Yeah, he was on the Reds, and like he put him in, and then I was like, what in the hell is he doing? Like it looked like an octopus arm, and then all of a sudden like it's just stopped, and then it's thrown, and I could not hit off of him.
It's so strange.
But yeah, Grant Dayton, basically every pitch that he throws, even if he doesn't, he's tipping his pitches. It seems like just he comes out, he's like, oh, it's a curveball. I am gonna swing a little bit under, or like swing right on top and try to get it through this gap. But and then after that, Drew Smiley. Drew Smiley is just like the better version of Grant Dayton to me. It's similar pitching motion, mainly curveball guy.
He was just a failed experiment, unfortunately.
I mean, he won a World Series, so like, and there were points where he had really really good games, and like he ate some innings, especially in the NLCS. That was really appreciated.
That's right.
Like,
that's right.
It was huge. But I mean that's basically what he is just an innings eater. But he basically like I remember Charlie at the beginning of the year was just he could be atrocious. Like like he would go him and Smiley would both do the same thing where they'd go like 3 or 4 innings real clean, and then like have one walk or one hit, and then all of a sudden they explode, and then 5 runs are on the board.
No, they're very fragile. Yeah.
And there was that game that Charlie had 0 outs and gave up 3 runs, really 5, but 3 earned runs in the first inning.
Was that like the like? I feel like that was the first like home opener game Not the first like home
Yeah.
opener, but it was the first where like it was like 100% capacity.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, because I remember gearing up for that game, thinking we were just gonna absolutely like rake,
And
and
that was
then
the Phillies.
yeah, it was the Phillies. Of course, it was the Phillies.
But yeah, I mean, so him and Chavez and Martin are all going to the Cubs, which we'll talk about that team a little bit next week. But they're very interesting.
They are.
But yeah, so Inciarte's gone, but that really sucked. Like, he's such a good guy. And
Good guy.
He was
a good guy.
really good. He was basically one of our best players in the crap era. Yeah, ever since he pulled his hamstring, he just wasn't ever the same player.
Yeah.
And then last player, Johan Camargo. It's a weird one, like because I mean he had 20-something plate appearances last year and didn't get one hit, just swinging a pool noodle. And he would do like the Soto shuffle too.
He was such a strange I remember in the NLCS 2020 that series we don't talk about. There was a game we were down like 12-0, 12-1 against the Dodgers, and he like pimped a home run. Like he dropped his bat and like shrugged his shoulders and shit. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
This is in 2018-19 when it's like, ooh, is Austin Riley or Camargo? Like, who's gonna be the third baseman? Like that really flipped on its head.
Yeah. I mean, he was our starting third baseman in 2018.
Yeah, and then we got Donaldson.
Yeah, then we got Donaldson.
That up. Yeah.
And yeah, it was so weird that going into 2020, it was like a battle between Austin Riley and Johan Camargo, and then looking at that now, it's just like, wow, that was not much of a battle at all. But it was a very at the time it was like 50-50.
Yeah.
Mainly because obviously Austin had more potential even then, but he just pooped his pants. Multiple times.
The early Austin Riley days, like any slider that came in, he just was swinging at it.
Yeah.
Like he was not hitting it, unfortunately. But he's cleaned that up, obviously.
This is the type of player that not really going to be missed. Necessarily. Like I liked Johan, and he's got stuff there. It just wouldn't translate the last couple years.
Agreed. Yeah.
But definitely don't like seeing him go to the Phillies.
Hate them.
Not particularly a fan of that. But
and the Phillies have had I hate to say it, but they've had a good offseason. They got Castellanos, who's gonna hit so many drives deep left field. Did you all see the video of him getting his first at bat or first hit during like the guy's DUI apology?
Yeah. And then he also, after he had the first home run after the Will Smith thing happened.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's honestly, I think they time these things. Like I think they talk about tragedies or like things that have that have happened during his at bats.
He had to make like the weirdest deal with the devil, I think.
Yeah.
It's just like,
and it's so funny too because it's not like, I don't know. It's not like some random like Jock Peterson hitting them at inopportune times. It's like Nick Castellanos, who's like a known kind of like smug, like sort of a bad. It's like kind of a dick. Like of course it's him doing it.
He's so fucking sick.
No, he's the exact person I would expect to do this. Maybe like Joey Votto is the other one, but yeah, that's about it. Just an absolute heel.
You see that Joey Votto found TikTok?
No, but I'm gonna watch that after this.
He is so odd.
He was just singing along with some other dude.
It's so odd.
Into
He's
an
such
Apple
a
mic.
weird guy.
I feel so bad for Joey Votto, man. I feel like
I don't think he cares. I just don't think he cares.
I don't think he cares. He's made a lot of money.
Yeah, Will, talk a little bit about Votto. Like, especially the what he wants to do once he retires.
Oh yeah, have I told you this, Sam?
No, I'm not.
When he retires, I can't tell if he's joking, but he said it on like multiple interviews, and he's like very, very sarcastic. But he said like when he retires, what he wants to do is he wants to be a bus driver.
Are you
like a school
serious?
bus
Like
driver.
That's so
he
funny.
wants to work for a school and like drop kids off and like pick them up and take them to school and everything. He's
Jesus,
a
man.
weird motherfucker.
He's a weird guy. He's a
He is
weird guy.
odd.
You know
He's
that
Yeah.
really good at
they've
baseball.
run
Really
stats
good, but
about like him hitting with and like his pants tucked into his socks and without.
yeah, it's insane.
That's ridiculous, man. That's so funny though.
Um,
What a guy. What a guy.
but those are all the notable departures.
Mhm.
If we missed one, I'm sure someone will call us out for it. But
Mhm.
yeah, and then so looking at additions, just list off the ones that are either returning or don't know much about. But so like Charlie's back, obviously, and Eddie's back, which that didn't
Thank
surprise me,
God.
but like that deal was good. Like that is
Good. It's 1 million, right? Just straight up.
for Eddie.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said Heredia. Never mind.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heredia's back too. It's
I
not
heard
listed on
Eddie
here,
and I got excited.
but yeah, no, yeah, he's for $1 million, which is just like he might be on the opening day roster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or not a roster, but like the opening day lineup.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eddie's back. I'm glad. I love Soler so much. Like it's so hard to lose either of them. But I honestly probably would have wanted Soler back the most out of the two of them. But
I feel like Eddie Rosario is the Dansby Swanson of outfielders, where when he's on, but we're gonna see some pretty rough patches throughout the season.
yeah, I honestly think he's going to be in contention with Duvall for leading our team in strikeouts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, still happy to have him back, especially for
Of course,
obviously
yeah.
what he can do, his potential,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
for 2 years for 28 million is nothing. So
Nothing.
but yeah, those, and then yeah, Heredia, Arcia, like literally of all the players on our roster, he's the one that I just am the most apathetic about, and just honestly don't really like too much.
He's like even with comparable guys like Heredia, and I know he's gone now, but like Adrianza, those type of guys will get up to the plate and you're like, maybe something's gonna happen. Like maybe a big like game defining play here, like there's some potential, but Arcia, I feel like he's just kind of a dud.
Yeah.
Like he's a good locker room fit. He's good for the culture and everything. And I like him. Like, you know, he's a tenured player and like he'll definitely be on that opening day roster, not in the opening lineup, but yeah, you're right. It's just that apathy.
Yeah. Like
there's just nothing enticing about it.
For literally every player, including just the minor league deals that we'd done, I try to find something about him and like try to like him and support him. And with Arcia, like I was just thinking, I was watching a spring training game and he had 2 or 3 ground outs, and he also like muffed a ground ball when he was fielding, and it's just like give me a reason to like you, like it just and it's like he doesn't have as in thinking just like in the clubhouse and like on the bench, like he doesn't have as much energy as somebody like Heredia. He doesn't have the leadership skills like that, and doesn't produce as much as Heredia. Just like you are lesser Heredia to me. And everybody else kind of brings their own something, but I don't know. I like we're paying Heredia 1 million. We're paying him 2 point something.
I think it's 2.5. I want to say, but I'd need to double check.
Like I mean, he raked in AAA last year before we got him up, but so maybe something will click. It didn't really show. It hasn't really shown in spring training.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were points where there was a lot of Braves fans that were calling for when Dansby was sucking, which he has very long droughts each year. There there were a lot of Braves fans that were calling for Arcia to replace him.
Yeah. I just looked it up, by the way. RC is making 1.5.
Okay.
So
still
little less than
more.
what, yeah, but still more, yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's a fine deal.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, just a lot of apathy.
Mhm.
And then looking at some of the other, we'll go back and look at the bigger signings that we've done. So obviously Matt Olsen, we already talked about him, and that's certainly the biggest one. In terms of recognition, the next guy would definitely be Kenley Janssen. That was just shocking.
No, literally, like I didn't know that was a possibility.
No.
And I think it speaks volumes about the Braves front office just letting like no leaks out whatsoever.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole like Matt Olson thing, throughout the Freddie Freeman ordeal, this signing too, like it was just so hard to come by like information. And I mean, we're paying a pretty penny, but I mean, that's arguably one of the best relievers in the league.
Yeah.
If not, like, I wouldn't say the best because you have Josh Hader, but.
Well, yeah, Kenley's definitely not the best, especially at this point. But yeah.
But
he's definitely the upper echelon. He's definitely
absolutely.
I think I'd put him like outside the top 10, like 10
like
to 15. I think that's which is very good.
Yeah,
not like
anything. No, I'd take a top 15 reliever on my team.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty damn solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, Will, what did you think when you saw that signing at first?
I wasn't particularly shocked because I think the big thing with Anthopoulos and the Braves front office is they're extremely proactive because like pretty much every move they make is like right at the beginning of like the off season or like the free agency period or like the trade deadline. It's always right at the beginning. And like again, that's a little bit different this time because of the lockout and everything. But then also, I don't know, I just think like I do like the move a lot because it just shows like he's never satisfied. And the big thing with bullpens I've realized is like there are years where like relievers who are good one year are just atrocious the next year. Like relievers are so tough to predict. There's really only like a handful of guys who you can like nail down are going to be like phenomenal. And the only guys I can think of that are like that are like Hader, Liam Hendricks, Devin Williams, probably Emmanuel Clase, and that may pretty much be it. Where everyone else is sort of like up in the air and everything. So yeah, and then like any guy that the Tampa Bay Rays have, those are the only people like I could even consider being like consistent. So I think like bringing in another guy who's had like pretty successful body of work is like a nice bet. Even if he doesn't match that, I think he will. But yeah.
That's true. Like you have a team like the White Sox last year. Like when they added Craig Kimbrell, you have Craig Kimbrell doing very well, and then Liam Hendricks, and then before them you have Michael Kopech and Ryan Tepera.
Insane.
And then
Garrett, what's that other guy's name?
Crochet
that's him.
Who's just pumping 102, 103 easy.
Their bullpen's bullshit. It's such bullshit.
It's so good, but like when they got to the postseason, they just collapsed. Like they were terrible. They won that one game. They only won one game against the Astros, and it was back and forth. And I think they were down pretty heavily in the beginning too. They had just no chance that whole time.
They absolutely collapsed. I also think the one thing I am a little nervous about, kind of bringing it back to Kenley and on the topic of Kimbrell, is we did see Kimbrell go into the White Sox, and him and Hendricks kind of went back and forth for like the closing role, and I think it kind of screwed up the dynamic there and might have, messed up just the bullpen as a whole, might have contributed to that decline. I wonder what it's going to look like with Kenley and Will Smith now, because I think Will Smith's okay, like getting off that stage because he just got like so much hate from it last year. But
Yeah.
like,
No, we
I mean,
loved
this
him.
dude
We
is.
loved him the whole time.
You
Big
don't look
Will
through
Smith supporters the
don't
whole
look
time.
through any of his Instagram posts. Don't look through any of my DMs to him. We
No,
love
yeah,
him.
the whole time.
We love him. He's fantastic. In fact, I went to a Braves Dodgers game. He was thrown in the bullpen. And I said, "Hey, Will Smith, I love you," and then he didn't look at me, probably because he saw my not.
That was great, Sam. That was
Yeah,
great.
didn't
Yeah.
say, yeah, no, I was righting my wrongs, but no, I think like Kenley's obviously going to be the closer, and maybe they'll try something else. But also Snitker is just the type of guy that's going to want one guy there. So
Yeah, he definitely.
I guess we'll see.
That's true. It's good that you brought that up because I was literally just about to say like, oh well, yeah, maybe try Kenley and then see how it goes, and then put Will Smith in there. But
Yeah.
obviously, Snit showed last year that he's gonna stick with one, even through the bad times, which ultimately was really good.
No, I mean
really
Will Smith had
hard
his
for like Braves fans to
oh yeah, it was
see
terrible.
that happen just so often.
Yeah.
He technically only had like I think he technically only blew like 6 or 7 saves or something.
It was
like that.
it was very low. Like I think you're right. I think it was around the 4 to 6 mark, but he gave me a heart attack 20 of those times, like 20 times.
Yeah, it was
because he wasn't always blowing it, but he was letting up runs. He was putting guys on base. Like it was like the Luke Jackson experience, but in the 9th inning. So
yeah,
really rough.
I'm trying to see how many saves he blew last year. It really wasn't much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Oh, there's no splits available for Will Smith. Thank you, CBS Sports. Awesome.
Love that. I could do some research as well.
You go ahead. You do it.
I'll do my best. So.
But adding so Will Smith was obviously very candid that he was very good with it, and he said multiple times that he would rather have another parade and another championship than be the closer and just work on closing his own inning. So I appreciate that from him.
Yeah, no, his mind's in the right place, and I legitimately do think he might have some of that like fan hatred in mind because letting up runs in the 8th inning is way less severe than the 9th inning. Obviously context dependent, but like I think just the prospect of having a Minter 5th, Matzik 6th, Jackson 7th, Will Smith 8th, and then Kenley 9th is just woo! Like so nice, so nice. Not to mention Colin Mchugh in there, potential Spencer Strider in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Darren Day
is going to be the best one.
Yeah, so,
you think so?
That's what I was just about to move into. Is that so? Colin McHugh. This was a poll done by MLB Network. They were going and like ranking the top 10 relievers. Colin McHugh was I think 5th or 6th. He was the only Brave that was listed on there.
So under the radar.
Yeah.
So under the radar.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
He gets like
no
love at all. Like like I'm
He's
so
a
happy.
Rays guy. You don't give them love.
You just make them do their job.
Give them hate. Yeah.
But like even when I was like when we were doing the free agency predictions and going through, I was like, I don't know anything about Colin McHugh. Who the hell is that? Like, but he has the 2nd lowest ERA of anybody combined in the last 2 years. Just ridiculous. And we just picked him up for probably what was his deal? Sam, can you do it? Can you do the thing?
Also,
did you see how many saves Will Smith blew?
No, I didn't. I couldn't find it. McHugh's on 2 years, $10 million.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. that is insane. Not to mention he was a former starter. He got Rookie of the Year votes. He got Cy Young votes the following year. I mean, he threw 25 games started in 2014. Obviously, that's 8 years ago. He threw 273, and then last year threw 64 innings, had a 1.55, which is ridiculous. Yeah, that's. Like even with a smaller sample size, like that is crazy.
Yeah.
If we can if we can throw him out there, I mean, with what, like, say an inning per game. So if he pitches 60 to 70, like, I mean, he'll probably pitch upwards of 80 innings, if not more, for the Braves.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pitching a 1.55. Like, that is insane. Like, he's going to be, that's an every other game 1.55 pitcher.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have him, and no one's talking about him like at all.
No one is.
Yeah,
I think
focus
it's also
is on Olsen and Janssen, which I get.
mm-hmm. Also, not to mention like the very established like night shift.
Yeah,
like that. I mean, that is an exclusive club in Braves history. There's literally bobbleheads with like all four of them, which I want to get one because that's pretty cool. But yeah, like I hopefully he can wedge himself into that because that's like such an incredible group already. And I've seen a lot of reports that are saying that the Braves might have the best bullpen in baseball.
Yeah, but even just like people not talking about him, like when I was watching the spring training games, like Chip Carey and Brian Jordan and Paul Bird, like they were talking about the night shift, and they even interviewed Tyler Madsick, and they're like, what about adding Janssen to the night shift? And they never mentioned McHugh like once.
Nothing.
Like if they did, it was just incredibly brief. But I'm excited to see him work. And then on top of that, one of the other signings that we did in the bullpen, which sucks that he's injured right now, but Kirby Yates.
Yeah.
He had the lowest ERA of anybody in the league 2 years ago. He has had Tommy John surgery since then. Maybe twice. I can't remember. But he's not even, like, I mean, we didn't need Janssen. We didn't necessarily need McHugh. He was the first main bullpen signing, but we needed at least one more person. So, but having Kirby as just an option on top of that, it's fantastic. Which he won't be here until like August.
No, he's out for a while.
And then
little off top. Sorry,
I will say he'll probably be pretty bad once he gets back.
I would imagine. Yeah.
All that matters is like he's goodbye at postseason play.
Yeah.
He'd be pretty shocking if he wasn't.
So the other players we sign, there's two more in the bullpen. Tyler Thornberg, kind of very under the radar. I didn't know about him at all, but I've watched him in spring training, and he's done very well. I want to try to find him on these stats. The last team that he officially pitched for was the Reds. What was your experience with him?
Not gonna lie, don't like him. I think he's gonna be. I'll be frank. He's gonna be one of those guys where the Braves are either up or down by 10 runs, and then you throw him in. Because I thought he was pretty solid at first, but then what's really bad about him is his ball is. He throws hard, but his ball is just a straight thing. And so, like, if you foul off a few and like you time it up right, like that's a double. And he maybe he changed. I don't know. I know he's been in and out of the minors for a while, but frankly, I don't expect much. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't on the roster.
Yeah.
Well, so let me tell you his spring training numbers.
We'll see. Yeah.
It's not much, but he pitched 2.2 innings, had 2 strikeouts, no hits, no walks.
Good.
So
that's good.
He's in good form now. I think he's going to make the opening day roster. Honestly, especially with Kirby Yates gone right now.
That's fair. Yeah.
And then looking at the return of Darren O'Day, who honestly I thought he was done towards the end of 2020. And what Sam, can you look up his stats from last year? I know he was with the Yankees, but I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't think he played that much. I want to say he might have been like, let's see. I think it's a very, very small sample size. Yeah, he played in 12 games. He only pitched 10 innings.
Okay.
So that's where he had a 3.38, which isn't bad, but
Yeah,
I mean,
small sample size.
four earned runs in 10 innings is like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like that's all right. I think the obvious issue with Darren O'Day is just age. Like this dude's been in the league for
long,
almost 15 years. Like I'm pretty sure he made his debut in 08 or 09. Yeah, 08.
There's only so long you can like pitch the way that he does too.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing is he has a very strange. I will say like he's an exciting player. Like he's one of those. He's on the Braves, and like we know his potential.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like I know we're gonna talk about potential opening day, rosters in the next episode, but jumping to that very briefly, like I think he could make that roster.
So
to be honest, like I think there's a decent chance.
He also had a good spring. He 2 innings, 2 hits. He hit 1 batter, struck out 1, and players had a 286 average against him. So I mean that's solid. And he used to be more of a strikeout pitcher, but with age, he's definitely turned into more ground ball. But I could see him being like a Jesse Chavez type. But we signed him for very cheap, and I honestly think that he's just playing because he kind of wants to be on the team, like specifically the Braves. Because I saw an interview, or like quotes from an interview from everybody from the night shift and just the bullpen in general, and he was just joking around and like making fun of Luke Jackson and stuff, and yeah, I think he really likes all the guys in the bullpen, and he's known them well since getting to know them in 2019, 2020. So I think he's happy to be back with very low risk for us. Could be a solid guy, and especially I don't know how much of an innings eater he is, but
I don't think he's an innings eater. He's gonna prove it, or he's gonna get waived. Like like this dude's arm is about to turn into dust, unfortunately. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if one game he was throwing the ball and his arm just fell off. So.
Just start pitching with the other hand.
Yeah, he's like, I got to make this roster.
Switch pitcher.
Yeah.
Switch.
Like Pat Venditti, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And then the other bullpen guy, Jay Jackson. I don't really know anything about him at all.
Yeah, I don't have anything on him, to be honest.
Not a great sign.
Did he play for the Reds?
No, I have no idea. I'm just saying not a great sign.
Well, I mean, he was a minor league deal.
He's got major gaps in his resume too. He made his major debut in 2015 for 1 year, then came back in 2019 for 1 year, then played on the Giants for 1 year in 2021, pitched 21 innings in 23 games. He had a 3.74, which is pretty solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, 9 earned runs through 21 innings. So very extremely small sample size. Don't know really what we're gonna get there. I would not expect to see him much.
Yeah, he'll probably just be one of those AAA guys that we have to bring in if we have to.
Spot starts. Yeah.
We haven't talked about Manny Pino yet, have we?
No. Yeah. So we have the guys left are Manny Pino and Phil Gosselin and Brock Holt and Alex Dickerson.
Yeah. That was honestly one of my favorite moves.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the flashiest. Don't get me wrong. But like he played for the Brewers, and I think the best comparison I have is he's like Tucker Barnhart, just slightly worse. About as solid, like offensively, like nothing crazy. Just a slightly worse defender, which is like very good defender, because I mean Tucker's been nominated for like a platinum glove before. And I think that's just a good veteran presence to have. I'm blanking on the catcher that played for the Braves last year. I'm blanking on his name when Travis d'Arnaud was out.
There were 7 catchers last year.
Oh, I know. There was one in
Stephen
Vogt, Kevin Smith.
Stephen Vogt.
Stephen Vogt.
No, it was Kevin Smith. Those two. I just remember thinking that they were dog water. I remember thinking they were dog water, and I was I think Manny Pino is a much better player.
Yeah.
So.
Also, I don't know if we want to dip. I don't know if we want to dip our toes in this, but could give Contreras more time to develop his skills in the outfield, which we've seen in spring training, which is kind of strange. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
very
the
odd.
outfielder of the future. We
Yeah,
we have no faith. Acuna's done. Like we have no faith
Yeah.
that Acuna's gonna be able to come back from his injury. Just put Contreras out there.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like, if Contreras' bat wakes up in AAA, I'm so okay with throwing him out in like right field for a few games just to
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, if we're in a pinch, if we're in a tough spot, like, especially considering where our potential like pinch hitters are right now, which isn't great. At least until Acuna gets back, then we'll have a better lineup. But yeah, no, all things considered, I like the Pina signing. I think that'll be solid. That'll also give Darno a lot more
support.
Stability.
Yeah, exactly. Like Darno was catching every game that he could have last season.
Yeah, that was well, yeah, towards the end when he wasn't injured and he played every single postseason game. But yeah, that was definitely a very, very smart, good signing, and that was definitely spurred by having 7 players at catcher last year. That was just a nightmare. Kevin Smith, I don't ever want to see him in a Braves uniform again.
I don't like him. I don't like Kevin Smith at all.
Stephen Vogt, he was not the best player, but I definitely like Stephen Vogt a lot better. And he actually had some good games, unlike Kevin Smith.
Yeah. Kevin Smith was just a liability.
There was one point. There was one game though.
So bad.
There was DeGrom pitched, and he had the only hit.
Yep, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Stupid.
Also, this is a bit of a personal throwback, but Griffin, the game we went to against the Mets when Jacob Webb hit what's his face, Pilar in the face. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kevin Smith was starting that game, and I like audibly groaned when they read out the lineup in the stadium. It was just awful.
And we lost that game to like one of the worst lineups that the Mets have produced in years.
Janeshwi Fargas.
Yeah, Janeshwi Fargas was the 9-hole.
He hit after the pitcher.
Yeah, after
the pitcher hit in front. Jesus Christ, man. Ugh. I was just so bad at going to like seeing home teams win last year. It was so bad.
I don't want to watch a game with you again.
I'm awful. I'm an awful person to go to a game with. I think I mentioned this on the last podcast. I went to seven games this summer, this past season, and in 6 of them, the team I was rooting for lost.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I'm bad. I need to stop.
Well, let's go through the bench pieces pretty quickly. I think the one who has the best shot at literally being on our opening day lineup is Alex Dickerson. But he has had a not good spring.
Awful. Yeah, really bad.
Which is not very good for him. Yeah, he's batting 111. He had a 429 on base percentage though. So he had 5 walks. So that's encouraging.
Yeah. He gets on base.
Yeah. He had 5 walks and 4 strikeouts in 9 at bats.
Wait,
Wait,
hold on.
Wait. He has 5 walks.
Say that one more time.
He has 5 walks and 4 strikeouts in 9 at bats, but he has a 111 average. He has 1 hit.
Also, those spring break like stats are so wonky. It can be.
Yes, I know where that hit's coming from.
I mean, I know what you're saying. Like, even eye test alone, I've been watching him, and he hasn't looked too great.
Yeah.
Who I do like though, Gosselin. I think he's gonna be low-key good. And he was drafted by the Braves, so I mean, I did a little research, not too much. He actually batted 261 on 373 plate appearances last year, and his OBP was 314. So
he was with the Phillies.
I want to say yes.
And he was with the Angels at some point too.
Oh no, he was with the Angels last year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was with the Phillies 1920 and then Angels last year. Okay. He's bounced around. Yeah.
There was a lot of Braves fans that were excited about him coming back. I didn't really start getting into the Braves until like 2018, so I didn't really know much about him. But yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do. Should be a good bench piece.
Yeah.
And then who's the other guy? Oh yeah, the main guy I'm excited about is Brock Holt. Such a funny dude. Like
he's an all-American all-star. He's no all-star, but he is an all-American all-star.
He is the grit guy. He
Yeah,
brings so much grit to the table.
Like just that mustache. All I can
Yeah.
just see him is like in the bench, just like spitting seeds for an entire
Yeah.
game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pay him like $2 million just to sit on the bench, spit seeds, and then we see his mustache every so often. And I think that's a good deal. Doesn't he have to?
He's the dugout anchor. Like he just holds everyone down.
I don't know which teams he's played for, but I'm convinced he's played for every team in the league solely for his grit.
Yeah, he so last
Jesus.
year he was with the Rangers, and then the year before that he was with the Nationals, and then
he was with the Brewers last year.
He with the Brewers?
Last year he was, yeah.
I thought
for a minute, yeah.
He was with
the
Rangers.
If we're being honest, he probably ended up on the Nationals at some point.
Yeah,
I just remember he was on the Brewers last year too. I'm telling you, the guy goes everywhere.
They bought him on the spot once they saw how gritty he was. Actually, it's like a Moneyball when Brad Pitt goes to the Indians office and just like buys the guy straight to Oakland. They did that with Brock Holt.
Yeah,
and he's just sitting there in the corner spitting
like,
seeds.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's what I'm doing here.
That's my job. Like,
yep.
This is a grittier Brave squad because
I'm so. Yeah. No, he's great. Yeah.
You think this is a terrible joke? Do you think he'll ever do the gritty? If we can,
oh my god,
if we can increase in our popularity, make him do the gritty.
If we build out this character arc and really stick it to, maybe we can have him on the pod one day. But
this is a Brock Holt pod.
I'm getting super excited just thinking about Brock Holt right now. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't put too much mental energy into Brock Holt before this.
It's just his name too. Just the grittiest fucking name that you can come up with.
Brock Holt.
Yeah.
Brock Holt.
2 syllables, just clean. We're done. You know, like that's my name.
Holt.
Nothing else.
They gave birth to him, and they're like, "What do you want to say?" I don't fucking know. Brock Holt.
Brock Holt.
Brock Holt.
Brock
Lobster.
His son is named Griffin too, so I appreciate that.
Wait, actually?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I posted
exciting.
a video of him the other day. But yeah, and then he's just hysterical. Like, just you can look at him and be like, oh, that's a funny guy.
Yeah,
which isn't an insult.
Transition going from Jock to him.
Yeah.
Because the one thing when I think of Jock, I don't think of grit. I think of flash. But then you go to Brock Holt and total opposite. Like he's the guy that shows up like on a tractor, and he's just he's there to put in work and
just eat a mouthful of dirt because he wants to.
No one makes eye contact with him. You can't. He'll fight you on the spot.
But talking baseball, they made an Instagram post that was like, who's going to be the biggest breakout player this year, or like who's going to be the best player in the NL or something. I can't remember. And then he had the top comment, and he said, "I think Holt."
Oh my god, I love this guy. I hope he makes it. I hope we need more like Heredia dugout mascots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And this guy's gonna do it. He's gonna route it out.
But we got 9 days opening day.
Let's go.
It's exciting. We'll do our roster predictions next week, and
season predictions.
Oh,
it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I can't wait to be just incredibly wrong. But I'm actually to finish off and to raise my chin a little bit. I'm doing my senior thesis for my economics major. I'm doing it on simulating the DH into the 2021 season to see how it would affect it. And then comparing the difference from 2019 to 2020 when they had the DH, like when they didn't have the DH, to having it for a short sample size, And then I'm about to anticipate who the DH for each team would be this year, and then try to plug that in to make the similar predictions from the simulation that I did.
Interesting. I like that. Yeah.
That's really cool.
And
Yeah.
then make the standings from that. Which it does, like, from the stuff that I found, like, it mainly affects the wild card, and that'll be affected much more this year since we're going from 10 teams to 12 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
DH is going to definitely positively impact some teams. Unfortunately, probably the Phillies now that they have somebody like Kyle Schwarber, but
Yeah.
they do not have depth.
Let's be honest.
They're terrible on defense. They don't have depth. They do have
bullpen is
Castellanos, which is
poopy.
gonna. Also, we're gonna, now that Castellanos is playing in the Braves in the NL East, we're gonna have a greater likelihood of seeing him hit home runs at inopportune times against the Braves potentially.
I'm
So that's
like,
exciting.
if Billy Aaron dies this year, it's gonna be a Phillies matchup. Like
it's right afterwards. They're gonna hold off until we're not playing the Phillies so that it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. God, how does he do it? I don't understand.
That's
just
amazing.
Clockwork. All right.
I
It's
wish
amazing.
someone would do his batting average or like find his stats in those moments. It'd be pretty interesting.
I think it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. Well, yeah.
All right,
predictions for everything. Next episode. We'll see you then. This should have been 45 minutes, but it was an hour and 6.
Good.
And that's just how it goes. So
That's
just
how it goes.
if you're one of the listeners, you just gotta scarf it down. Listen to everything we say without hesitation. But yeah, thanks for listening. See y'all next week.
9 days away.